Hi guys, I hope everyone's doing well. I thought that I'd take you along. We have some things behind me that need to be taken care of. We just pulled all the orange ones off of the shelves. This is about half of them. We had close to 60 pumpkins. This is 31 pumpkins that we have here, and we're going to take the next few days. Today it is Thursday afternoon. I just came back from town and we're going to take some of these and start working on these over the next few days. I'm hoping to get most of these done by Sunday. We'll see where we get with all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, oops, there we go. Most of these ones are orange. I have some that are green still. So we are just working on these ones before they get rotten. These ones right here, a lot of them I'm going to cut in half, scoop out the seeds. We'll save some seeds for planting next year and then some seeds for roasting. And I'm going to take some of these, put them in the oven, then be able to scoop out the pulp, put it in the freezer. Some of them I'm going to scoop out the pulp and put in the dehydrator, which is up there. That's our Excalibur dehydrator. And we're going to make like sheets of pumpkin puree. And then we're going to pulse that up into a powder. And I'll show you how we do that. The pumpkin itself in puree can go into many things like casseroles. It can also go into just like chili or anything like that. We can add it to add some nutrition to it. Some of these we're also going to can. So we will peel, we'll scoop everything out and then peel and chunk them up, put them in jars, add some hot water and can those. So, well, let's start to get to it and I'll show you in between what we're doing, okay? Thanks. Hi, we're back. It's been about an hour since we started, and we're at a whole new point, so I thought that I'd update here. So right here, these two ladies are taking this bowl of the seeds with the pulp and stuff in it, and they're separating it into just seeds. So lovely. And then I have cut, and my daughter have cut and chunked all this pumpkin. This has all been peeled and chunked, and it's just chunks ready for the canner. We have 1, 2, 3, and then that's half full. These pumpkins here, and then the pumpkins over there. I wonder if you can see. It says, okay, over there next to her that you can tell that they're already peeled. Those are all going to get chunked, and I'm going to start off doing 14 jars because I have 2 All-American canners. I can fit 7 quarts each in each of those. So I just want to get the canner going before I like prep a bunch of them. So I will show you how to do that, and then I'll just show you a quick thing that I'm doing because one of our pumpkins came out of the oven, and I have that over here. So I'll just show you this first. What I'm going to do with canning, and then we'll move to that. Okay, so I was just cutting here. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe I can move. It's like I have a 12-foot table, but you'd think that it was like a 2-foot table because we never seem to have room, but we're always working on big projects. Okay, I'll put these here. I think that will work, maybe. Let's put it down. There we go. I'll just move that onto a chair for a minute. And I'll put these on here. So all I'm doing, this is really super simple. I'm just putting the chunks into the jars. We're doing 14 jars, and I'm going to put all the chunks in. And yes, you could use wide mouth jars. We don't have wide mouths. We have small mouth jars, and I'm just going to fill each of these jars full of the pumpkin to get them ready for the canner. So jars getting full, and then we're going to fill these. Do you want to trade with me? And then these are going to get filled. This is just lukewarm water. I do not have a pitcher. I don't know why I don't have a pitcher, but I don't have a pitcher. So this is just regular tap water that I'm putting in because I want it the same temperature as what I'm starting out as. So the baby's getting a diaper change, and then I need to feed her. So I'm just showing you this real quick. So this is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to wipe the rims and put lids on. So let me get it there. Can you fill those jars with something? So Grace, do you want to do this part?
What?
I'm just going to have you take, I have just plain water in here. And what we're going to do is just take the water and go along the top before we put the canning lids on, like this.
I'm going to go wash my hands.
And then we're going to put the lids on. These are going to get pressure canned. These are going to get pressure canned. So she's going to fill 14 jars of those so that we can set two canners full of that. We'll try to get the rest of this chunked up tonight so it's in bowls like this, and we'll just keep rotating through until probably about 9 tonight, and then we'll just shut things down. We will be covering the rest of it over, and those will go in the fridge. We have a field trip to go on tomorrow, so we will be going on the field trip and then maybe doing some of this in the afternoon. So we're just going to be rotating through that. These two back here, there's 2 big laundry baskets full of pumpkins that still have their skin on. Those are going to be going through the oven, and they go anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour in the oven, and then they come out and look like this. Could you pick this up? So they're out like this. There we go. So we'll just scoop those out and put them in the food processor, and puree that. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like once it's pureed and what we're going to do with it once it's pureed. Hi guys, so kids are finishing eating up supper. We've been working on this project for probably about 3 hours now. We got most of the, I'm pretty sure we got all of the 30 pumpkins situated, cut up in some sort of fashion. I have pumpkins that are like awaiting to go into the oven. I have pumpkins that have come out of the oven behind this pile over here. You can see the food processor is right here. I need to get an extension cord, and what we'll be doing is we'll be taking the pumpkin that has already been cooked down, food processing that, and then that's going to go in a bowl to be, we're going to dehydrate some of that, and then we're going to bag some of that for the freezer. And so right now my dehydrator is going to be full right after supper. I am going to be taking some of these the seeds and dehydrating a whole dehydrator full of seeds. And what I'm going to do with that is once the seeds are dehydrated, which will be probably tomorrow morning, I'll take and I'll grind those up into a pumpkin powder. And then we can use that pumpkin powder inside smoothies. Pumpkin is really good for manganese. Is it manganese or I think it's manganese and not magnesium. I think it has both of it in it. But it's really high in zinc as well for colds and those types of things. So if you have a pumpkin powder, then you can just go ahead and like add that on top of salads. You can put it in for smoothies. You can add it on top of oatmeal, whatever you. They're having fun behind me in case you can't see. No, don't act like it's silly when it's not silly. Totally lost my thought. So yeah, we're gonna do that with the seeds first. So then once that gets done and it's in the puree, I'll have bowls of that in my refrigerator that will be able to put some of that out onto the trays tomorrow, and then that will go for the full day so we can make the powder, and then I'll be freezing the rest of that. So I'll keep like a bowl like this big full of puree, and then the rest of it will actually just go in freezer bags or in muffin cups. I'll probably put some of it in muffin cups so I can just do like 1 cup at a time. So if I have a recipe, I can do 1 cup at a time. Yes. So we have silicone muffin containers. You saw me do the eggs in there, and we can just do some pumpkin puree in there. Yes. We did eggs the other day. Yes. So yeah, we're just working on that for a little bit. I have more of these to chop up. I'll get these all prepped to go in the canners. Some of the other ones are done. Then we'll just be able to pull those out and put them in. It is 10 minutes to 6 now. I'll probably be able to do 2 more canner loads. I'm not quite sure. At least 1, probably 2 more canner loads full of for us. So pumpkin puree, what I might do with pumpkin puree would be to pretty much add it to anything. You can add it to so you take the pumpkin puree and then you put it on the dehydrator sheets and you make a powder, and that can be added to almost anything, like any type of casserole, and you don't even notice the difference, but you're getting the health benefits of having pumpkin in your dish. So any type of soup, any type of casserole, you could just add like a tablespoon of that in, and you'd be getting so much more nutrition. The pumpkin puree itself, it almost acts like it can almost act like a cheese if you have a puree. Like you could do layered, like a lasagna if you weren't doing cheese. Sometimes we'll take gluten-free noodles, and then we'll have hamburger, and then we would have sauce, and then we'd put like a layer of either pumpkin or butternut squash or sweet potato on top, and then layer again, and it really comes out nice because it gives it almost that creamy texture. I've also seen some recipes which I'm going to try for pumpkin macaroni and cheese. So you're using like a cashew sauce instead of dairy-based and you're adding pumpkin to that, and it makes the sauce. Now, once you can pumpkin, the puree in the freezer will only last so long. And honestly, I don't want it to last too long because I need my freezer space for meat. And so when I have more time, I can always take some out and dehydrate some if I need to do that. If I need the space and my dehydrator isn't full, we can do that. So I see. Good job. I don't think we're having a treat. Alright. It's fine. Why does every child ask for a treat right after they ate their meal? It's like, no, we're not having a treat tonight. We very rarely actually have snack at after supper time. We usually save that for the middle of the day. But I totally forget what I was saying, so I'm sorry about that. Oh, pumpkin puree. So I'll put that in the dehydrator, but I'll also mix that in with chili or any type of soup. You can mix some of that in. Yes. Oh, I see. I'm by the pig bucket. So we have pigs. So any type of scraps, any types of scraps go in the pig bucket. Like, why is everybody coming near me now? They were just all eating just fine. So they're scraping. They had grapes with supper, and my mother brought some grapes over, and so they're taking their snacks and giving them to the pigs. Which might bring up a good point. I never force my kids to eat food. I know most people, or a lot of people do, they force their kids to eat certain foods. That said, I refuse to give my kids the foods that they want. Like, I wouldn't cook 5 different meals because this person didn't like that, or this person didn't like this. They can eat what they want, but they're not getting a snack if they don't eat what they want. So it's their decision what they want to do. If they want to eat and have snack, then great. If they don't want to eat and have snack, then they can eat at the next meal. So, yeah. Okay, so this is going. Oh, once things are canned, that's what I was going to say. So once I have it canned, you can take your canned pumpkin out and then you strain it, and you can use that in any recipe that would call for pumpkin puree. So you can make pumpkin pies, pumpkin whatever you want to make, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin muffins, can all be used from canned pumpkin. You just take it out, you strain it, and then you can either mash it or you can puree it up in the food processor, and it tastes just like it. That actually works out better because if you want to, rather than using fresh pumpkin, because if you want to, you can strain some of that. You can even put like not a cheesecloth, just like a muslin or a flour sack on the bottom, and then you put the pumpkin in, and you can squeeze out all that extra water if you wanted it a little bit thicker, and that works out really nice. So let's see. I'll be back with how I'm going once I get to the dehydrator and how we're going to do the pumpkin seeds. Hi, we're back. And so I just am going to give you one last video. It is, let's see, 7:15 tonight. And we started about, what time did we start this afternoon? Like 3:40? Yeah, I think it was like 3:45. So we haven't been doing this all that long. We just put some bowls out in the fridge. We actually filled our second fridge with bowls of pumpkin. And so we have here, there is one bowl. I'm using my laptop. There is one bowl left of that he is finishing up now. He just has that one. I got a big blister on my hand, so he so nicely took over for me. He has that one left, and then that one will go in the fridge for the night. She is doing some seeds in there. If you notice, the bowl is halfway empty. That is because I have some up in the dehydrator, which I'll show you. So we have these waiting for the canner. Oops. There we go. Those are waiting for the canner. There's 14 jars there already. She is working on scraping out the pumpkin, putting it into the food processor. Can you tell them what you're doing?
I went into the food processor and put it in the bowl.
And then she puts it into the bowl, and it's like this. And then this will be frozen. So tonight we just need to freeze some of that. This is what we have left for pumpkins. Just one basket left pumpkins for the to bake down. And then these are the trays of the seeds, and I'm just going to turn that on. That's all the way full. So that's going to go on. And yeah, I think that's about it. I have the canners going in the kitchen, and yeah, so I think that I'm going to end the video here, and then we're going to probably do a day where we do a bunch of different pumpkin recipes that we're going to, some of our favorites and some things that we want to try out and such. And I'll take you along for that. So stay tuned and see if we can find some yummy new recipes. I actually have a gluten-free, we did the gluten-free apple cider donuts. If you haven't seen that video, check out the apple cider video because those came out so good. And I wanted to try to make, I saw a pumpkin spice one that was gluten-free as well, and I want to try that one because it was a big hit for the kids for those apple cider donuts. So we're going to try the pumpkin spice ones too. So hope you all have a lovely evening, and we'll see you later. Bye.